Everybody, welcome in. This is how we get down. Even on a Sunday, we are live right here on YouTube and on social media. Thank you guys for getting up with us on a Sunday. Everybody else is staying in bed except for ESPN, but we are up in the middle of divisional weekend. So today it's going to be very, very simple. We will look back on the two games yesterday, two really different games. We've got our best bets for today, and then we'll look forward to the two games today. And I will tell you this, that we know where both the AFC and NFC title games will be played next week. That is because both number one seeds, the Broncos and the Seahawks, got it done in completely different ways. However, for the Broncos, Bo Nix, next to last player, I guess 3 plays till the end, breaks a bone in his ankle. He will have surgery on Tuesday. He is out for the playoffs. So shocking news for the Broncos. They have to go into the AFC title game with Jarrett Stidham as their quarterback, taking on either the Texans or the Patriots. And then the Seahawks in just pounding fashion. Opening kickoff back to the house, went out to 17-0 lead, and they win 41-6. Both overs do come in. Now, joining me today is my numbers guy. I love having him on every single Sunday morning, Rafael Esparza. Rafael, good morning. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. Finally back into my comfort zone of my office when you know how it is when you're traveling to try to do some work and trying to find a good Wi-Fi spot. Cafeteria. The most like hospitals and stuff like that. Cafeterias. Hey, way to good Wi-Fi.
These are pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
they may not want you to do coaching company while you're
No,
in said cafeteria, but you got the new microphone. It sounds fantastic. You got a stand. It's all good. It's all good. We'll get to our best bets in a second, but I want to look back first, Raphael, at yesterday because both overs came in. I don't think anybody could have predicted the over the way it happened in Seattle, but let's start with the Bills and the Broncos. The big news, Bo Nix is out. With him being out, regardless of who their opponent's going to be, what would the line have been next week with Bo Nix in the lineup?
it was funny. I got back and I was texting back forth people after I found out Nick's broke his ankle. I'm like, whoa, that totally makes my number different because I thought it'd be 3.5. I'm thinking if Houston wins today, Denver will welcome Houston in their backyard. I'm thinking 3.5, just because the way the Denver defense can match up with the Houston defense, and I'm putting Bo Nix ahead of CJ Stroud. So I would probably put them 3.5, and then the other game would have been -3. But then he breaks his ankle, and now it's just waiting to see what happens today and who plays well and how the number. Because right now I'm looking at my screen, I got 4 different numbers that we could probably send out.
Wow.
The Denver Broncos game.
Okay. Well, I'll give Sean Payton a lot of credit because he went up on the post-game press conference and he delivered the news as if he was talking about his grocery list. And I was like, man, he's got to feel some kind of way. And then there was quotes from later that apparently Bo Nix, very, very spiritual. This is in God's hands, all those types of things. So it seems like emotionally they're handling this well. But as a team, when you lose your starting quarterback, and he's the first quarterback since Patrick Mahomes to lead his team to the AFC title game in only his second year, this is really devastating, isn't it?
It is, but if I'm Denver, you know what you do? You go to the archive and find the Philadelphia Eagles with Nick Foles when he went and took them to the chip. So I would just pound that in their heads. It has been done before. Yes, we lost Bo Nix, our leader, but it has been done before. We could still run the ball. We still have our defense. I would just portray that because don't forget, a guy named Rex Grossman went to the Super Bowl as well.
Oh, my God. That is a blast from the past. And they will have home field. That's a big deal.
Oh, yeah, big point. Home field.
Yeah. Now, on the other side, I don't even know what you call it if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. Can you imagine if you're like 60 years old and you've been a Bills fan your whole life? The agony that continues to have in the 90s, 4 straight trips to the Super Bowl, 0 wins. And now you got the best quarterback you've ever had. And he's now 30 years old, 7 postseason losses. You can't put this all on him. They scored 33, but they did, Raphael, turn it over 5 times. In those 7 postseason losses for Josh Allen, excuse me, their defense has allowed over 31 points per game. So there's a lot of fault to go around, but I don't know that we've ever seen Josh Allen come to tears in a post-game press conference like we did last night. What do you make of the Bills, their season over once again before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that was hard to watch. Even though I said the Bills Super Bowl window was closed and a lot of people made fun of me on social media and on the show, but it proved me correctly yesterday. But it was hard to watch because I feel bad for him. I guess the best job in Buffalo is maybe the Bills therapist because you have
Maybe.
top control every year. That was tough to watch him cry, and I felt really bad. But if you kind of look at, he really had only one key guy on offense. They didn't have any key tight ends, no key wide receivers. I think they just, if they can boost their offense, they'll be okay next year. But a horrible, horrible way to see him go on the stand crying.
And think about this, and Buffalo's probably one of 4 or 5 cities that this won't matter at all. What I mean by that is whenever you have a new super expensive stadium, you want to be able to sell all your sky boxes for top dollar, all your seats for top dollar, and this probably won't affect it at all. But can you imagine someplace else where you're like, we haven't ever won a Super Bowl, we haven't ever done this, that the amount of money they're going to be asking. So it's going to be interesting. But they open a brand new stadium next year, and now Josh Allen is now, when you get into your 30s, I think we spend a lot of time, Raphael, talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and the unicorns that play past the age of 40. But when you get into your 30s, your clock is starting to tick. And so I wonder what the Bills mindset will be heading into the offseason, heading into the fall. But now Josh Allen, no Super Bowls. Lamar Jackson, no Super Bowls. And Patrick Mahomes out of this playoffs as well. Now, the other game. And Raph, it may not matter who plays the Seahawks. They're going to have the home game next week. It took about 12 seconds to really see what that game was going to look like yesterday. And if you're the 49ers kicker, it's a little embarrassing. You don't try to trip a guy on. Now, if he would have done it, it just would have been a 15-yard penalty, which it was anyway. But 17-0. Their defense was dominant, holding the 49ers to just 6 points yesterday, 3 points 2 weeks ago. Do you think it's even going to matter whether it's the Rams or whether it's the Bears?
I think the Rams would be a much closer game. No disrespect to the Bears fans, but I just think the Rams defense can match up with the Seattle defense. I think offense per offense. I think Stratford and the way Donald played yesterday, even though he had an oblique injury that I didn't see really anything. Maybe the first play where he got sacked, I thought, oh wow, maybe it is going to affect him. And then when he does the next play, he throws a dart for a touchdown pass. I think the Rams have put a good game. The Bears, if they have to go to Seattle, that's going to be a tough matchup. And I think Seattle rolls the Bears.
No doubt about it. I mean, think about the way Seattle won yesterday. Here are some of the numbers for their wide receivers. They scored 41 points. 41, Raph. Cooper Kupp was their leading receiver, 5 for 60. Kenneth Walker was their second leading receiver, 3 for 29.
And he ran for over 100 yards too,
Kenneth Walker. 116. He did. Jackson Smith-Njigba, who I think is the best receiver along with Puka Nacua in the entire league, he had 3 catches, 19 yards, and that incredible touchdown in the back of the end zone. But my point is they didn't need their stars to do anything to absolutely lay out the San Francisco 49ers. So if you're the 49ers, you lost George Kittle, and you talk about the Super Bowl era coming to an end. Well, I was there when they played the Chiefs, 7 years ago? So this has been going on for 6 or 7 years. Their Super Bowl window might be shutting because Brock Purdy, he did what every other quarterback does, can't fault him, took that $50 million plus. That takes away 2 or 3 other good players, and now that's when windows start to shut. It happens to everybody. And now the 49ers, what do you think their future holds?
Very interesting, because I know a lot of people wanted maybe a new head coach. That was rumored. I'd said that maybe his time has passed in San Francisco. I don't think that's going to happen unless you can land Tomlin. Harbaugh's already off, but I think they just have to regroup and get younger, especially on the D side. I mean, yes, they had some injuries. I think the Kittle injury was exposed a lot because his voice. I mean, not only is he a good player, but I heard his voice in the huddle, in the locker room, and all that. That to me probably was a big miss yesterday. So I think they just need youth to come in, especially on the D side.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan. I spent a lot of time with Coach Phil, and whenever Kyle Shanahan's name would come up, it was he's the best. He's the guy. He's the best play caller. He's the best leader. So inside the NFL, Kyle Shanahan, I think, is universally thought of as perhaps the best overall head coach in the entire league. So he's not going to go anywhere. Now, for Seattle, they've got Mike McDonald that a lot of people don't know, they're not familiar with, but they've got probably the best defense, certainly in the NFC. The Texans could argue in the AFC. And then you've got Sam Darnold, who's starting to play really good football at the end of the season, which he did not do next year. So yesterday, it's almost like they didn't get dinged up. They didn't have to use their stars. I don't think they could be going into the NFC title game in a better situation than what they are next week.
Yeah, yesterday proved it. They were able to run the ball and throw the ball. So normally teams, if you have a good running game, you just stick with it and then you expose and not throw the ball. But they were able to do both yesterday against the San Francisco defense. If they can do that, man, we could probably see them on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I do fear that it's going to be a very, very low rated Super Bowl. I fear that because right now, let's say you could have Seahawks, Texans.
That's the worst. That's the worst. We were talking about that last night on text chains. That would be the worst for us to try to make prop bets. To try because every year company wants, we want 2,500. One year someone's going to ask for 5,000 prop bets, and if it's the Texans and the Seahawks, I can maybe try to find 1,000. I'll be maybe Taylor Swift can do the Super Bowl show for that because I'm still trying to figure out Bad Bunny prop bets.
That is unbelievable. Maybe we ought to lean into the predictive markets instead. Maybe we should do that. That's starting to become a really popular thing. Really popular thing. Excuse me. All right. So we now know the Broncos with Jarrett Stidham. They are moving on. The Seahawks, 41-6, they are moving on. Let's now move forward to today. And let's get to our best bets because I have 3 and I think you have 3, correct, today? And then we'll get into more analysis of the games today as well. Why don't you start us off? What do you like today?
I have 2 in the first game. I'm taking the Patriots -3. It's plain and simple. May versus Stroud, and I'm taking May. No disrespect to the offense of Houston, but I think we're going to see points. I know everyone loves the under in this one, 41, 40.5, depending on what you look at. I think the Patriots can score because you know what the Patriots are going to do? They're going to be able to run the ball, maybe throw to the tie ends, and then exposes the field. They get the wide receiver some action in the second half. So I like the Patriots -3. And if I'm rolling with the Patriots, and giving the Patriots team total over 21.5. I think they will be able to score. Everyone keeps on saying this Houston Texans defense is really good. It's not the Bears 85 defense. It's not the Ravens defense when they win the Super Bowl. Yes, this defense is really, really good. But what New England has coming into this game, they have momentum, and Drake May's been a stud. So I'm taking both of those bets.
And then you like one of the Rams.
I thought we were just doing one at that. So give me the Rams Bears, both teams to score 20+ points. If I hear the temperature one more time, I'm going to scream. It's cold, yes, but it's no rain. It's no sleet. It's not going to be snowing. The Rams have scored 16 out of 18 games this year. They've scored 20+ points. They can score.
They can score. By the way, the Patriots, people don't realize they're the highest scoring AFC team in the league. Almost 29 points a game. Nobody ever talks about that. They are. By the way, in Chicago today, it's going to be at kickoff, which is 5 o'clock local time, 6 o'clock Eastern, I believe, correct? Isn't that the time? It's going to be 29 degrees. So it's actually it is 6:30. Excuse me, 6. So 6:30. So it'll be 5:30 local. It'll be around 30 degrees. Not a lot of snow. I don't think the weather is going to be a big issue. I really, really don't. So I agree with you, as you can see, that I think there's going to be a lot of points scored today as well. Now, I did buy the half a point, which some people never agree with on the total. But when you're talking about 48, that is something that's very easy to get to. You can have 31-17. So I did not want that hook sitting out there. And the juice at my book was not a lot. It was an extra 6 cents. So I went over 48. And I think in a shootout, both of these guys, because last week, they both went nuts. Puka Nacua had 10 for 111 last week, and then Devontae Adams had over 70 yards receiving last week. So I love his number today. I just didn't like Raphael Puka's number at 99.5 just receiving. I was like, man, he'll probably go over it, but you need a perfect game of 4 quarters of him producing to get over 100 yards. Only 111 last week. So that was going to be my 4th best bet, but I steered clear of that one.
I like staying clear of that one because everyone had JSN yesterday to go over, and what happened? So we
You
could
did
see the
nothing.
same
Yeah.
the same thing. Maybe the Rams pull the trick and say, "Hey, we'll use him as a fade and choose everyone else, and if we need him, we'll throw it to him."
That's a great point. That's a great point. All right, so those are our 6 best bets for today, but let's get into a little bit more. Again, we're not going to be here a super long time today. We're going to get in, get out, and let you guys enjoy your Sundays and cash 6 tickets in the process. But when you're talking about the Texans and the Patriots, Raphael, the Texans have never been, as the Texans, to the AFC title game. They've never done it. The Patriots, the last time they were here was 2018, the same year, Rafi, that they won their 6th Super Bowl championship. They had another quarterback you may have heard of named Tom Brady, who called a game yesterday, by the way. So today, the Patriots are favored by 3, total at 40.5. Yesterday, we had 63 and 47 were the total in those 2 games. The Texans could be on a record-breaking year. What do I mean by that? They started 0-3. And the amount of teams that have done anything, Raphael, starting 0-3, are basically nothing. And they've won 10 games in a row. They've only lost 5 total. So they're filling themselves. And that defense last week was absolutely lights out. What do they need to do today to Drake May to play the same way?
I don't think Drake May is the answer. I think the Patriots defense is going to be the answer. They have a great defense as well, and they're being overshadowed because of Houston's defense. So I think the Houston offense is going to struggle really bad today. I think we see a lopsided score. I think New England has no issue blowing out Houston. We're going to see maybe the same kind of game we saw the last game. I see Houston having no chance in this game. I keep on doing my numbers and
Really?
numbers. I love New England. I can't wait for it to see if I can get 2.5. These trade markets that we all understand, there's a whole bunch of them out there. Kalshi, Poly Market. Hey, call us. You can get a 3 and get a better price if you use their market than if you buy a half a point in a sports book. So I'm looking at it that way, especially with the total. You can buy it down to a 40 or a 39.5, and it's cheaper to do it than at a sports book. Then you have to pay minus 130, minus 135. So now we have other chances to get better numbers than other than just sports books. So keep an eye out for that, because I think sports books are going to be looking at these prediction markets now, because you figure, hey, if we can get at this number, why don't we maybe drop our juice down so we can keep our customers here? So now you have to look at both windows, because that's what the sports books and the trade markets are doing. They're looking at each other, as what I understood on a nice meeting I had Saturday or Friday. It should be very interesting to see what goes on. But keep an eye on this one, because I think the total goes down to 40 in the sports books. And wouldn't shock me if we see a 2.5, because a lot of Houston money line money is coming in.
Boy, I'm just sitting here. I'm just learning from you. I'm just listening because I know this is going to be the next big thing. And there is such an explosion waiting to happen on the predictive side that I certainly want to get ahead of it. And if we do, you may have one role on this show and one role only, and that is to educate our audience every single day. But that's how you evolve. That's how you change. That's how you get better, and that's how you get bigger, is embracing the change. And certainly you just did that. I can't wait to learn the
It's
predictive
very
market.
interesting. The money line is minus 175, and pretty much all books, maybe it's minus 170.
Okay.
Most prediction markets, it's 62 cents. So do the math yourself. You can figure out, wow, I can just do it that way. It's going to be very interesting to see how both entities of the trade markets and the sports books are going to look at each other and say, hey, you know what? Their number is this. We have to try to keep our customers here. It's going to be fascinating in the next probably 365 days about how this industry is going to be very, very different.
Okay. Very good. Let's have a good feeling about that. I don't know. Just a gut. As we look at some of so last week, if the Texans are going to have any shot today, and you believe that they don't, but if they do, they cannot turn the ball over like they did last week. CJ Stroud couldn't hold on to the ball, had one interception. They were a turnover machine, and the turnovers came at bad places at bad times, but they were still able to get the job done. They've got to play super, super clean football. And then if you are the Texas defense, don't you have to get maybe at least one turnover inside of the 40 of the Patriots to set up like a gift 3 points? I think you need at least one of those today, don't you?
Yeah, if Houston wins this game, I would say look at the turnovers. If they have more than two plus, then that's why they won the game. If they have 0 or 1, then in my eyes, lopsided game, New England wins.
Last week, Marks, by the way, ran for 112 yards. Christian Kirk caught 8 catches, 144 yards, and nobody else did anything. So, but there was a couple of super long plays. He had a 46-yarder, I think another 40-yarder. So it's just a matter of, and this is why you said when it comes to props in the Texans, it's very, very hard because you don't know which guy could pop off. And who would have known that Christian Kirk would get loose down the sidelines twice? You don't know that
Well, he got
on this
loose
team.
twice because of Nico. Nico Collins ain't playing today. He still has that concussion. I think if you're New England, just you have one guy to pretty much guard now. You have the tight end and you have Kirk. If you can get those guys, then that means Houston's going to have to run the ball. And I mean, you can just pile the center and make sure you stop the run early. Because I think with Nico out, that's going to be a tough absent on the field.
Okay, so that game today is at 3 o'clock Eastern time. But let's flip it over now to the game at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, and that's the one in Chicago. And there's a lot going on in this game, Raphael. I think it's going to be super exciting. You got Matthew Stafford at the tail end of his career. A lot of people believe that he will be the runner-up to the MVP. We think it's going to be Drake May, right? Is that who it's going to be?
Between
Or
them two. It's between them
two?
two. Most of
Okay.
the people I know that voted, they didn't tell me who they had, but I would say a name and they would either cough or blink.
Okay, fair enough. But here's the interesting thing. They're a 4-point favorite on the road, and apparently the books or the predictive markets, they don't care about games that are involving the Rams and the Panthers because 2 different times the Rams went to Carolina. 2 different times they went right down to the wire. They trailed twice in the fourth quarter a week ago to Carolina. They almost lost that game. And now this week in Chicago, they're a 4-point favorite. Make this one make sense to me.
I'm blown away that it moved off 3 and 3.5. when I saw the 4, I literally started texting people like, did I miss a 6-figure bet? What's going on? And they say, no, it's just multiple bets coming in on the Rams. And most people who are betting the Bears are betting the money line. So you're getting less tickets written on the Bears and more tickets written on the Rams. I think that's why it's lopsided. That's why the books had to move it to 4 because they're not getting that +4 money. They're just getting 1 ticket. So it's pretty much almost every 10 tickets written, 3 are on the Bears, but that 3 is on the money line, not the +4. So it's just being lopsided tickets written, but blown away at -4. I think it's great value if the Bears +4.
Man, I also think they're a great teaser value. If you had 6 to that, you're talking 10. I don't see a scenario they lose by more than 10, but that would be an even number, which I hate because teasers, even numbers lose. If it lands on 10, that's a loss. It's not a push. Every time I say that, then they lose by 20. I don't see a scenario. I don't see a world where that happens. As we look at some numbers in this game, Stafford's at 267.5 for his number. Caleb Williams 215.5. If this thing becomes a shootout, that might be a number that I look at, that 215.5.
That, and I like his passing attempt. I think it's 32.5.
31.5 right now.
Oh, so it came down. I like that one at 31.5 because if it's a shootout, that means both teams are not running the ball and they're just slinging it all over the field. And if that means the Rams are probably going to be up, that means the Bears are going to have to try to do 25 points they did in the fourth quarter last week. They're probably going to have to hit the repeat button.
Now, my book does have a combo number for Caleb, 240.5. So that basically that would be 25 on the ground. And if you just want to bet him on the ground, he is 20.5. So that's interesting. To explain to me, when you have 2 separate numbers that equal 235, the combo number equals 240. Why the difference in 5 yards?
They're just trying to protect themselves. I mean, it's because people don't bet the combo number. They're going to go straight to the Caleb Williams over under. They're not going to look at the combo number. So they're just trying to protect themselves. If you really like something on the Bears side, then Luther Burton, the wide receiver, I think he's going to be a very good target. Right now, I think his number's around 37, 38.5. I think he has another big game. I think he goes over. I think he's cashed at 4 out of his last 5 games. I think Luther Burton's a really good prop bet for the Bears.
Yeah, 37.5,
Okay.
minus 105 in my book right now. He wears number 10, if you guys are wondering who he is out on the field today. He wears number 10. Now, obviously, I have two best bets on the Rams side because the one thing about having a veteran quarterback in Matthew Stafford is he knows, and Sean McVay know how to get the ball to their stars. Last week, Puka Nacua, 10 for 111. Devontae Adams, a great B player. I think both guys need to have really big games. And when we look at their numbers today, receptions for Devontae is 4.5, Puka 7.5, and then receiving yards, Devontae 55.5, and Puka 99.5. Which guy do you think has a bigger game?
I think overall in the fourth quarter, because I do think it's going to be a close game, I think Puka is going to be targeted. And I think if you're going to get anything of his numbers to cash, it's going to be in the second half. So if you like the Rams, maybe look at Puka. Some books do second half yardage for wide receivers, especially the big names. Maybe try to find something for Puka in the second half. I'm going to say if you're an over better and everyone wants to talk about the weather, I think once we start seeing scenes from the field and there's no snow and it's just cold, 30 degrees in Chicago, wind chill maybe in the teens. That's not really cold. We've seen the frozen
No.
in Green Bay. That was cold. The last coldest game in the NFL, the game went over the total. This total will probably get pumped up to 49 and a half again. I would say grab to 48 and a half. I do think this game goes over.
I think that fans nowadays, they don't understand what it was like in the 80s and the 90s. That a true snow game was when you put stuff over your head, you can only see the eyes, and you had those really hard AstroTurf fields. Now, all these new fields are heated, they're fine. It's normally not a big deal at all. Normally. Real quick, team totals. You have, I believe, one of your best bets is both teams to get to 20, correct?
Yes.
Or is that another? That's in this game, right? So the Rams team total, I think it's a little high. It's 28.5. The Bears 24. I can see like 27, 26. I'm not saying the Rams can't get to 28.5, but if they're going to get there, it's probably going to mean they're going to get to 31. And to bet to 31 in my mind feels a lot different than over 28.5. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Would you then stay away from it if that's the case?
Yes and no. I think we're going to really find out on the offense of both teams in the first quarter. This is, for me, especially the guy that likes to live bet, I think this game right here has the best live bet options. Not only just to middle your bet on either side, Rams or Bears, you can middle your bet on this game. I just think there's so many different options to live bet this because of the weather, because of the quarterbacks, because of we can see either a high scoring game or a low scoring game. This one has so much money opportunity to live bet, and I can't wait to live bet this game.
One of our valued premium members, JC1, thank you, JC. In the chat, he says it'll be 19. Coach, wind chill of 5. We do have some snow incoming. Currently 9 degrees. It feels like -7. Okay. And JC is in the Chicago area. So maybe it'll be a little bit colder than what I looked up online. But again, I looked at the 6 o'clock number, but the sun will be going down by then. So it could be similar to what we have right now. So we'll see. Regardless, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's going to be a lot of, because remember, the Bears defense is putrid. It is bad. It's not good. They were down 21-3 at halftime a week ago and then came all the way back. Let's not forget that, Raphael. Can't forget that.
If they don't get any takeaways, their defense gets exposed. I mean, people think, yeah, the Bears defense is really good because they lead the league in takeaways. But if they don't get any, it's very bad.
No doubt about it. All right, let's recap our best bets and get the hell out of Dodge. And again, thank you to JC1, Big Cheesy. Who else? A lot of people in the chat today, so thank you guys so very much. I saw some others just scrolling through here on a Sunday morning. You guys don't have to get up with us, but you do. And I'm seeing the number on social media too. It's awesome. It's awesome. And we're only going to get bigger in the next week or two. So here are we each have 3 best bets for the day. Raphael, quickly recap yours.
Patriots -3. Patriots team total over 21.5. I see what I saw last night with the Rams. I mean, with the Seahawks and 49ers, I could think the same thing here. I think New England rolls Houston. So that's my bet. And then the Rams, Bears, both teams have scored 20 plus points. I could care less about wind chill and cold. I think the Bears defense will show up and the Rams will score. And I think Caleb Williams in the second half and the Bears offense put up some points. Give me both teams to score 20 plus points.
And I feel the exact same way because my best bets, I start with the over 48, and I did buy that half point down. But when you buy half a point in the total market, normally it's not as much as if you're buying a half a point for the spread. So mine was just minus 116. Puka Nacua over 7.5 catches. He had 10 a week ago. Matthew Stafford, he's going to go down with the ship. And last week, 10 catches. He's going to find Puka. And Puka has this incredible knack of getting open all of the time. Then Devontae Adams on the other side, over 55.5 receiving yards. He went well over this number last week, and I believe that he goes over it again. I think Puka and Devontae, Sean McVay is not stupid. He is not stupid. And he knows if they're going to go to the NFC title game, these two cats have got to get the job done. All right, Raphael, last question, final take time. Which game do you think is the better, more exciting game today?
Yesterday was flip-flop. The first game was better. The second game was crap. I think the second game is going to be really good, and I have New England rolling Houston, so I'll be watching college basketball more because it's going to be a lopsided game in the first one.
Very fair. I'm going to be out on the golf course with my son this afternoon, getting a little practice round in. High school golf starts out here like in the next 3 weeks.
Wow.
Very, very soon. Very, very soon. So we got to get that practice in. He shot a little tidy 73 yesterday. Your boy shot an 82 yesterday. I shot an 82.
I could probably shoot 182.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. All right, everybody, enjoy the games. Do not forget, Monday, super, super busy for us. We have the morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We got the podcast. We have Off the Ropes. We have the Coach and Bro show at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Easiest thing to do, just hit that subscribe button on both of our YouTube channels, BTT and Coach and Company. Turn on your notifications so you get that little ding every time we start a show and you don't miss any of our content. In the meantime, thank you, and thank you for my guy, Raphael, producer man behind the scenes. I am the Coach. We'll see you tomorrow morning right here on Coach and Company. Good luck today.